Hello gamers, it's me! We're here for more Dark Souls. I didn't stream yesterday because I didn't feel like it. But we're nearing the end of Dark Souls 1. I want to finish Dark Souls 1 soon, so I'm here to play at least a little bit today. I don't know how much I'm going to play today, but at least a tiny little bit. The plan for today is to try and get further in the DLC so that we can get closer to Manus and Calamite and getting them available to fight. I almost said hunt. I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter. And then the main goal is to try and get into the Abyss to the area where we can find Sif in the DLC so that we get the unique cutscene in the base game. So once we get to Sif, we can go back to the base game to finish out Sif and the Four Kings, and then come back to the DLC for Calamite and Manus before going on to Gwyn to finish out Dark Souls 1. There's not a lot left. We closed off last session with beating Artorias, which was quite fun. I do so love Artorias. Let me quickly, while I'm loading in the game, bring the tier list back up to see where it all stands. Last stream, we did Sanctuary Guardian, Artorias. Is that all? I'm trying to remember how much we did last stream. We did Seath and all the other things the stream before, I think. I don't remember, to be entirely honest with you. Unless we did do like 7 bosses yesterday or 2 days ago. I don't fully remember. I'm also still a little under the weather, so sorry if I cough every once in a while. My apologies. But we've only got 5 bosses left to take on. And let me bring us into the game here. Here we are. Also, while I was setting up stream today, I unfortunately realized that Demon Souls was 103 deaths, not 107 like I thought it was. So we actually did not beat Artorias in under the amount of deaths it took us to beat the entirety of Demon Souls, unfortunately. Anyways, now we're back to the DLC to try and make ourselves a little bit further in. I know we're looking for a key. Now, so this is the part where I'm completely blind. Before, in a lot of these areas, I've been, like, kind of, like, vaguely remembering what to do. Now I never finished this area, the township. I got lost, and I was really sick of Dark Souls 1 the first time I was playing it, and so I gave up. And this time's gonna be different. We're making it all the way to the end this time, gamers. So this time is going to be the closest to what the Dark Souls 2 experience is going to be, of just going in completely blind and not knowing where to go, although there will still be plenty of that, I'm sure, in the other games. Pretty much anything that isn't Elden Ring or Bloodborne, I'll have to remember where to go. Because I haven't played a lot of the other ones. Okay, that's a shortcut for later. I've only played this game once before. I've only played Dark Souls 3 twice. So maybe my memory of Dark Souls 3 is a little bit sharper since I only played it like a year or 2 ago. It's like 2 years ago maybe. Maybe a year ago. I don't remember how long ago it was. It was sometime in between Elden Ring and the DLC of Elden Ring. Which is like a 2-year period, so... 2 or 3 year period, right? And then Bloodborne, I know like the back of my hand, and Elden Ring I know fairly well. So right now I'm just sort of trying to truck along. I really don't know anything about this area at all. Okay. Sure. Go this way. Go in there. But I don't know, I think part of the fun of these games is figuring out where to go for the first time. Ow, ow! Okay. There we go. Let's take 2 drinks. Check this a mimic? It is not. Ah, yes, Dark Orb. I did need Dark Orb. That's good. Grief ahead. I don't think I'm gonna jump down there. Okay. But this is basically what I was trying to get at, is that this is the closest we're getting to the completely blind experience that I will have going into Dark Souls 2. Although I do plan to do at least a tiny bit of research so that I'm not, like, completely lost in Dark Souls 2 when we get there. So that... Because I feel like if I'm completely lost, then there's a very real chance of me getting frustrated with the game. Because I heard things about Dark Souls 2, you know? What does that sound? We could maybe make that jump, but I'm not gonna try that shit, so let's go the other way, I guess. Out this door. Come on, dude. That guy. Nothing there. But I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter over the last few days. I did a bunch of hunting AT Raydao, who is quite tough. Slowly was getting better at... Okay, so this loops back to where we were, so I guess this was an optional path. There we go. Who was quite tough. My first run went pretty painlessly comparatively. I think I eventually ended up settling on, despite the way normal Ray is, because normally Ray is more fun with Hunting Horn than with Sword and Shield, I think. For me, anyway. I don't think normal Ray is particularly fun with blocking weapons most of the time. Just book it in case there's going to be something shooting at me. This feels like the most mimicky mimic of all time. Yeah. Fortunately, mimics are not a threat to us in this playthrough. Hopefully that will be a trend. Very good, carving.
Very good.
Okay. We're gonna keep that in our back pocket for potential comedic timing later. That's so funny. Okay. Now I see the demon shooting those at me, so we're gonna come and deal with you first. Because the little melee guys are not as scary. These guys remind me of something. I don't know what, though. When I'm playing a lot of Monster Hunter, I think I like Sword and Shield more on Ray. I think it's just like... No sane person could wear it.
Very good.
Alright. Beautiful. I almost want to keep it on. Just because it's really funny. Does it do anything special? I was kind of reading it. Bloated head is fissured, the cracks lined with innumerable tiny red eyeballs, with a hard outside and mucus-filled inside. No sane person could ever wear it. Uh-huh. Let's rock it for a little bit. We don't need the tiny amount of health we get from the Mother Mask, necessarily. Yeah, that guy's eyes are, like, glowing red, though. They're not just, like, red. That makes him seem a little scarier, but he died in one hit anyway. Got his ass. I've also been playing more GU. I've fully transitioned to playing Sword and Shield in GU. Sword and Shield in GU is quite fun. And I'm planning to try and learn Switch Axe. I want to try Switch Axe out. Because I feel like Switch Axe is one of those weapons that I always am wanting to learn, and then I never try to learn it. And it's one of the stronger weapons in GU, so I want to give it a chance. Although apparently it's changed a lot since GU, like the way that it plays post-world is very different. And so maybe if I want to learn it, it would be not great, because then if I want to transfer those skills to, like, Wilds or something, then it would basically not work, but Okay, well now the bloated head doesn't feel as special, because it seems like it's a relatively common drop. Oh, joy. There's another one. But I never made it this far into the area, genuinely. I have no... This is past where I made it into the area. I don't know how I got lost so hard. I must have been really... I mean, I guess what I'm learning is that I was really stupid when I played Dark Souls 1 for the first time. And really bad at the game. How I managed to play through all of Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 first and not have that many issues with them is beyond me. Sorry, my ear is like bothering me. I may need to switch my headphone situation up a little bit, but we'll see. And we could keep going this way. Is there anywhere else we can go in here? Can we go like... Oh, yeah, we can go this way. What's up here? There we go. That keeps bothering me. I can switch to the other headphones. Hopefully it will not be an issue. But Swax seems really cool, and I want to try and learn Swax. Because I feel like there is, Swax scratches all the parts of my brain that I know exist. Like, I know I have the kind of brain that is, like, transforming sword that explodes is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I just want to get better at weapons that are not sword and shield in these games. Because I feel like I'm using sword and shield as a crush, because it's so easy for me, and it feels so natural for me. This could be a mistake. It worked. I'm goated. I don't know how you're supposed to get here normally, unless that is the way you're supposed to get here. Where you have left? This one? Yeah. So I want to try and learn Swax. Maybe when I go through the hub quests, I'll try Swax. There's the crest key. We need that for Calamite. To get to the giant that shoots the, shoots Calamite out of the sky for us. Worry of Castor. Shinjiro Aragaki's persona? That's Castor. To be specific, but I think it's probably the Castor at the bottom of the ladder. Who was right here. Oh, there. What? Did that Castor drop down and fall? Looks like they sure did. So now they're down there. Just go back up then. See if there's anything else to explore around here. You can drop down here. Amazing item. I sure hope so. Twin Humanities. I mean, that's not... I don't know if I would go so far as to say amazing item, but that's not a bad item. Drop down here, and then drop down. Perfect. Dark Fog, let's go. Finally. You can cast Dark Fog, chat. Try right. Sure, we can try right. Is this the shortcut back up to where we were before? Sure looks that way. I guess if we're right here, we can go talk to the giant guy. So I don't forget. We can go activate. We can do all the. Let's go do all the stuff to do Calamite then. We can do that real quick. There's also this lady.
You. Is that not the soul of the man who fell on this spot? He was a dear friend. I wish to pay proper respect with that soul. Would you be willing to part with it?
Sure, you can have it.
Thank you. You are very kind. Please take this. I no longer need it.
Her outfit's pretty cool. Dark Silver Tracer and Gold
May the
Tracer.
Lord
Are those
guide
like...
thee.
Very good.
What are those? They curved swords? Gold tracer. Yeah, it's a curved sword. A and dex. I guess they're similar to like the dancer's swords from... It's a dagger and a curved sword with S and A scaling. I wonder if there's any purpose to dual wielding them or not, because there's not power stancing like it is in Dark Souls 2 in this game, where like the different weapon types can combine and stuff together. I don't know if we have to do talking to the giant first, or if we're supposed to go do this first. So let's come down here and do this first, because I'm already on my way this way. What's that item over there? This is not the way we need to go, but I want the item. Oh joy. Not so bad. Large soul warrior. There's probably more dogs down here, so let's just keep the shield out. Nice block. Way to go. Is that man a dog? No, that's just a little thing. Again. So, just a rock formation. That's all it is. That's unfortunate. I don't know how I missed him, but I also don't know how he missed me. So, need saint. Be wary of dangers and need a rear. Yeah, I think we're supposed to come here, and then Calamite is gonna like fly by. That's not good. Well, that's good that Calamite went by, but I have another thing. Hold on. Give me a quick second, chat. I'm gonna quickly try to switch it to this real fast. I'll be right back. Okay, my computer is doing a bunch of shit where it wants to update and restart. I think I have scheduled the restart for 4 in the morning tomorrow instead of in 4 minutes. So hopefully it doesn't restart. But if it restarts, then the stream will end abruptly, and then I will have to restart the stream. So hopefully the computer does not reset on me. That would be cringe. So, anyways, let's make our way back up to use the key on the door. And then if we really felt like it, we could fight Calamite now. Like, we could just go straight to fighting Calamite, but I would like to wait a little bit longer. Save some gravitas for the two bosses that I haven't fought before, Calamite and, Menace. Save them for last. Outside of Gwyn, of course, because we have to do Gwyn last. But I can at least do, like, Sif and the Four Kings before we do Calamite. I had a whole train of thought. I was talking about something, and I completely lost it because of that update thing popping up on my screen. I mean, I guess I was still talking about Monster Hunter. I'm still trying to... I just want to learn more weapons. I'm just so bad with the slower weapons. I guess Horn's not really a slower weapon either, because with self-improvement it has some of the fastest unsheathed move speed. I don't know. I just struggle with the slower weapons, and I want to learn them. Or at least one of them. because I started GU with Charge Blade, and I want to go back to Valor Charge Blade too. I want to give it a shot as well. I don't know if I want to farm more Seregios right now, or Seregios, to get the Seregios Charge Blade so that I have a decent Charge Blade to try out for a little bit. Because I think I was sort of misunderstanding how you're supposed to play the Valor styles, generally speaking, that I was using. So I may go back and try and give that another shake. If I don't like Switch Axe. Anyways, let's talk to our NPC.
Visitor, have we?
I love his voice.
Thou must be the one who freed Artorias. An old friend he was. Thanks to thee, he left this world with honor intact. And here I am, retired and blind. Of little
He's so
help to thee, I'm afraid.
What do you sell? Hello, Carving, and thank you, Carving. I would like both of these. For 5 souls! What a steal!
Dragons shall never be forgotten. We knights fought valiantly, but for every one of them, we lost 80 of our own. Exhilaration, pride, hatred, rage. The dragons teased out our dearest emotions. Thou will understand one day.
Yeah, once we start doing more dragon fights, I certainly will
Old
understand.
thoughts return in great waves of nostalgia. Me, there's very little to be said. What good is a dog with no hairs to hunt? But I'm lucky to be alive, I suppose. Me, but I'm
Okay, so I think we need to go do the Calamy thing again. I think we have to do that. Talk with this guy first. That, or maybe we have to quit out and reload or something. One of the two. Might as well try both options. Also, let me equip these other silly little carvings.
Hello! Thank you!
Thank you. I love the carvings. What a wonderful item to include in this video game. Alright, let me quickly rest at the bonfire. Unfortunately, it's going to respawn all the guys from that area we were just in, but oh well. It's also gonna respawn the dogs on the way here. I didn't really think about that. But it's too late to change my mind now. It's not like these dogs are like super threatening. On the dogs. Move the R2, the sweep of the R2, or the running attack. Fly by again. Okay, he doesn't fly by a second time, which means you probably just needed to reload the area. What a shame. What a shame. Just burning the time away. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. If you heard that. I don't know, I feel like I'm lacking for anecdotes to talk about today, chat. Because most of yesterday was just sort of me taking a break from everything and anything. Which just resulted in playing a bunch of Monster Hunter instead of doing anything, like, productive with my relaxation, but... I don't know, relaxation doesn't have to be productive. I think that's a thing that I'm trying to, like, figure out, right? Stop commodifying my own time. That it has to be efficient or meaningful in some way. You know? Getting philosophical by myself here in my zero viewer chat, you know? Woo. Hello again, friend.
Tomorrow, is Black Dragon posing the duress?
Yes.
Yes, I thought as much. He's called Calamite, ferocious dragon indeed. Even mighty Anna Londa dared not provoke his ire. I see little good coming from this, but thy intent is to persevere to the bitter end.
Indeed it is.
Good, good. What is bravery without a dash of recklessness? I've taken a liking to thee, and I owe thee much for thy service to Artorias. Now, watch, and see how Goth hunts dragons.
Time for the best cutscene in Souls history. It's up there. I don't know if it's the best. Mesmer cutscenes are pretty fucking good. Ludwig the Accursed cutscene's pretty good. But for a non-boss cutscene? Damn, what a shot. That's so sick, dude. That shit's so cool.
Yes, a truer shot was never loosed. That bat will be grounded for a good spell. The rest is in thine hands. I await good tidings. Ah, dragon slaying. Knighthood's highest calling. Thank you.
Okay. Alright, back to the area then. So we might be able to level up. Let me quickly try that. So we can take it to 40, I guess. Alright, back to our shortcut. Send that back up. Right, we came from that way, so we're going this way. Those are both casters, which is no fun. I need to sort of... Ow, oh my god. Okay, no biggie. Easy peasy. Oh, this one drops it. A green titanite shard? I didn't know they Titanite shards had the same thing happen to them that Usopp had to deal with. There was a better way to word that joke, surely. Would have made it funnier. Green Titanite shard. That happened to my buddy Usopp once. If you don't know about green Usopp, you gotta educate yourselves, chat. Okay, what in the world is the deal with this creature? I do like no... I chink off this thing, I do no damage. I don't even know what this thing is. Ow, okay, can't block that. It's good to know. Don't smack me. Okay, well, we're done. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay. Back we go, I guess. It's a, obnoxious enemy, to say the least. Well, with the whole forced chinking thing. It's like fighting Uragon, who was not a difficult fight in GU, but not anything I would call a fun fight. I'd like to know why that didn't one-shot him. I guess it's because it's one-handed. Oh, you're still not dead? That really sucks. It's a lot of damage we just took, because I thought he was dead already. Okay, those two out. Just gonna heal, because we've got the flasks to heal. We might as well try. Pick this up. Oh, that sucks. Okay, that was an attack he was charging. I thought he was just sort of sticking it. I really don't know what this creature is. It's sort of hard to gauge what it's doing at all. Right, you can't omnidirectional roll when you're locked on in Dark Souls 1. I spent so much time not locked on in this game that I forget. Okay, that's an attack for sure. Okay. I don't think this guy can move very fast. Cool. Cool. I really hope the time I'm spending killing this guy is worth something and not like a complete waste, which is what I'm expecting it to be. Nice whiff. Oh, he's dead, so we got him down at least. That's 1,000 souls. This is what I got for that. 1,000. That is categorically not worth my time. Hey, bro. He was riding up. He was in the way, you know. That's what I do on normal elevators too. Like if somebody's, you know, in the way in the elevator and you're trying to get on, you just like hack them in half with a scythe. You know. And I believe we are now done with the Ulusel Township and into the Abyss. Which is the location where we can find Sif. So here we go. Chasm of the Abyss. That's not the kind of Titanite I need. We're looking for like a cat or something somewhere. There's supposed to be like a little glowing cat that you follow through the abyss to find Sif. Also, there's humanities down here, which is really cool. We can explore this whole area in a little more detail later. Yeah, it's this right here, because this is like an illusory floor or something. Yeah. And this makes you take no fall damage. Meow!
Hello!
Hello! Oh, but it kind of echoes a little bit. Just keep following our cat friend. Try and kill the humanities if we can. This is like an illusory wall or something, I think. Yeah. Here we go. And then these humanities are trying to attack our friend Sif there, but it's got a barrier from, or he's got a barrier from Artorias' shield. It is really difficult to gauge how close these enemies are to you. Oh, that's cringe. Let's kill all these guys, take them all out. All these humanities. I don't really know what all the lore is around these guys and why they even exist. Something with like humanity and the abyss being intertwined or something like that. I don't really know how it all works. I'm not a Souls lore expert. Cleansing Great Shield. Which is Artorias' Great Shield that he used to protect Sif. And then he spent the rest of the fight against Manus blocking with his fucking arm. Which is why his arm is broken in the boss fight, his dominant hand. Which means we can now go back to the main game to go fight Sif. Because we get the cutscene now. Where does this take me, I wonder? This is a ridiculously fast elevator. That's a cool elevator. It would have been even cooler if it was just a really fucking tall ladder, though. Where are we now? Back out here. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. That puts us close enough to a bonfire. We can go back to Firelink, and then to Andre, and then to Sif. Which is going to be sad, but necessary, unfortunately. Alright. Let's go kill the dog we are friends with. Shall we, Chet? I don't want to do it either. It's not my fault we need the item that he is protecting in order to get to the Four Kings so that we can get a Lord's Soul so that we can link the fire or whatever. I don't know exactly. Which one of these is this one, I think, is, Andre? Because from what I remember, it's like you need to fight the Four Kings, you need like the item that lets you go into the Abyss or something like that. And then Sif is, and it's at Artorias' grave because Artorias was like the guardian of the Abyss or like fighting the Abyss. And so Sif is guarding his grave, protecting the thing that you need to go into the Abyss because he doesn't want anyone else to suffer like his master did. Being, like, completely consumed by the Abyss. Which is why, even if you befriended him in the past, he won't let you through because he doesn't want the same thing to happen to you anyway. And so, like, that both of you are not wanting to kill each other, you have to. Because this game's fucked up and sad. Meanwhile, Priscilla, you just kill for sport for no reason. It's just, she literally did nothing wrong. I mean, I don't know. What can you do, I guess? Or Sif. Also, apparently, I don't know if killing Sif in the boss fight here changes this. I don't think it does. But apparently, after you rescued Sif in the DLC, you can also summon him as a summon for the final boss against Manus, which is really cool. I don't know if we're gonna do that. I almost want to do it just because I think it'll be fun and like cool lore stuff to see that. But also, I don't want to do it for the first time with a summon, if possible. Oh, hello. Phantoms. You're ghost men. Can you stop with the soul arrows, bro? Cut it out. There we go. I forgot there was like a whole ass area down, and we haven't even made it to Sif yet. You bought the key to open the thing. Never mind. Yeah, I have the key. We bought that. We bought it from Artorias or from Andre after one of the bosses last time, I think. Why are there all these like NPCs here? Also, welcome in, Cody. Ow, ow! Also, why was that guy not like a ghost? Chest down here. Yeah, I like totally forgot this was a whole ass area that you explore, and not just like you open the thing and then go straight to Sif. Like immediately. It's real. Stone armor. Sick, dude. Go back in that structure and look up? Yes, sir. I will turn right around. Let's see if we look up from here. It's just a whole lot of rotten head. Maybe it's here? Can't see. I don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe it's in here. It's a broken wall. I see it. This is the cat friend.
Is it not so that thou art new? Thou fared well to find me, but cometh thee not for the grave of Sir Artorias? My advice true. Forget this. The legend of Artorias art none but a fabrication. Traversing the dark? 'Tis but a fairy tale. Have thine own respect. Go not yonder knocking for nothing, I say. I see. A result most heathenish and gross.
I need
There is
to blink
nothing
the
more to say
fire or
about this
whatever.
tedious reckoning.
What do you want
Begone
me to do?
from here, pernicious caitiff.
Damn. Hello to you too.
Hello.
Begone from here.
Okay, you don't care for me, I guess. That's the cat friend that's helped us save Sif in the abyss. Anyways, I think Sif is over here. Let's go get the sad stuff out of the way, shall we, Chet?
Hello.
Just gonna leave them to it. Little guys. And this is the Royal Woods. This is from the DLC. This is the same place, right? Except in the present, or no? Because this little spot right here looks identical. I guess it's the same place, right? I guess it must be, because you enter from, like, the abyss thing in the past, and then you come through here. So this is like the Ulasil Sanctuary or whatever, but in the present, which has been turned into Artorias' grave. I see. Well, I already killed all those NPCs, so rip bozos. Be wary of sorrow. Time for the sad cutscene chat. I gotta go to the sword first. This is a little weird to put the stupid head on. But time for sadness, yeah. The stupid rotting head and the giant scythe coming off my back. Aww. Music. Mistimed my roll. Oopsies. Oh, that's a lot of damage that we're doing to my poor boy. I'm like the worst at dodging these attacks for some reason. Oh my god, I'm actually the worst? Sif just decided not to kill me there, also. I want to kill him before I have to see him limping. I don't want to have to see him limping. No, I had to see him limping. No, no, god damn it. I hate this game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This game sucks, man. This game sucks. This game sucks. Well, at least we got the item, right? The Covenant of Artorias lets you traverse the abyss. And then the Hornet Ring, which boosts backstabs. Well, we did it. Yay. Is there a... There's not a bonfire in this room, is there? Just double check. Anyways, let's bring it to the tier list, I guess. I don't know. I think I would say maybe Sif is like here. Maybe he's here. I think that he's like about. Well, I didn't mean to move Gwendolyn. That was an accident. I think he's maybe about here. I think gameplay wise, I think maybe he's just sort of an average boss. but I think that the lore and everything and the music, I think, elevates it a little bit. The story elements of it elevate it to being a more interesting fight than it otherwise would be. Like, you know, you compare this to an Elden Ring enemy and it's not a super complex or deep fight, but I do think that it's moving and interesting, even if it's a little plain. Uh, do you have, I don't know if you have any disagreements or agreements there, if maybe he should be in amazing, but I mean, maybe, I don't know, hold on. Maybe if I'm saying old hero is amazing, then maybe Sif should be an amazing. But I don't know, I feel like I'm pushing it. But maybe maybe I'm so jaded now after Artorias and Smo. Actually, you know what? They forced me to kill the dog. I'm not putting it in amazing. If you could let him live, then maybe he could be an amazing. But you're not allowed to let him live because this game sucks. And Miyazaki hates you. So let's just put him in great. Or maybe it should be an amazing because he's an amazing dog. I don't know, dude. Makes me sad is what it is. But hey, at least they never make you kill a nice dog that is reluctant but forced to fight you. That limps as he starts to die, and his attacks get slower and weaker. You know? At least they never do that a second time. Unless Dark Souls 2 is something I don't know about. Yeah, we've hit the soft cap for Dex. We're only getting one more a pop. I guess we can start leveling endurance. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the closest bonfire to the Four Kings is Firelink, correct? And we have to run through the whole ass area again? Or am I mistaken? I don't think that I'm wrong there, but I would like to be wrong. Because I'm not particularly in the mood to have to run through that whole area, but I think we're gonna have to, right? And then also on top of that, we do need to put on the Artorias ring to actually fight them, correct? As well? Now, it's been like 2 weeks since I've been to New London, so I don't really remember how we get to the boss. I think we made it all the way to the boss, didn't we? And then we turned around, or am I mistaken? Or we just made it to the Ember, didn't we? We didn't go all the way to the boss? No, there was. I got the ring, the Hornet ring. Didn't I? Didn't I pick it up at the grave? I picked up the Hornet ring and then the ring of Artorias. Wasn't that the ring? Or am I forgetting? Didn't we get that ring? I thought we got the ring. I really wish the Souls games had a run button that wasn't holding down circle. It seems that the me of the past did not push this elevator back up so that the me of the future wouldn't have to wait for it and get stabbed by a ghost. So now the big thing is I don't know where to go now to get to the boss. So let's figure that out, I suppose. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Ow. Okay. Okay. You know what? Can I just go this way? Thank you. Where? I'm just gonna, like, let's just run around. I don't really care if we lose these souls. I guess it's a level, almost a level's worth, but, like, what if we just figured out where we needed to go first? So that I don't have to run around as much. Oh, right. Okay, I remember this whole situation. This is where we died last time, I remember now. Is we, oh my god, and there's ghosts here too. That I suppose have maybe followed me from the upper part of the area. Oh, I don't want to deal with the ghosts, so let's try to ignore them if we can. Oh, good, you're seeing us and walk all the way over here. Die. Oh, this guy bleeds? That's good enough. Oh, okay, there's another skull guy behind me. That's great. Okay, ow, yep. Okay, let's just, okay, ow, Give me just like, guys, just give me a second. I think this room has nothing in it but a chest. There's a door at least. Okay, let's, wow, that didn't think that would hit me. Okay, I really thought these skeletons from the previous area were done chasing me, and then I got, okay, whoa there. Almost just walked right off the ledge. Did I see the Expedition 33 clip you sent? Yes, I did see the clip you sent. And this is this the boss room right here? This is the boss room, right? Let me put on the ring. Because the fog wall's still there, so this must be the boss room. Traverse the abyss. Surely 14 Estus is enough. It's gonna be a hell of a run back if we die to this boss, by the way. Do we just jump in? I don't remember how this works. Don't we just, like, jump in? Or do we, like, keep going? I think we just jump in. What's the worst that happens? We jump in and then we have to walk back here again? Try a ring. Despair ahead. I'm just gonna burn one. I feel like we probably don't need 14 Estus for this. Okay, let's go. Into the abyss we go. Now see, if this was Nito, you would have taken half your health for falling that far. Okay, 4 Kings time. Time to find out if our damage is good enough, right, chat? Okay, I thought that stab was gonna knock me over, and then it didn't. I don't know if that damage is good enough. Oh, that was a grab? That's definitely what I thought that was. I didn't think he was just, like, turning. Heal. Ow. Ow. Does not do a lot of damage to me. Base taking it here. Okay, one down. Alright, looks like our damage is good enough. Ow. I rolled that, but it's good. It's an interesting hitbox. Okay, guess you can't roll that. Let's go down. Kings of 4. There's another king. These guys have some interesting hitboxes, for sure. It's a good thing their attacks do, like, 2 damage. Because otherwise this would be really annoying. Heal. More like the Three Kings, am I right, gamers? Oh. There's the fourth king. Took you long enough. So there's not a floor here, so I tried to throw down the carving, but it didn't break on the floor. It just fell into the fucking abyss. That's incredible. Wow, what a boss, huh? What a boss. What a boss. Well, let's go back to the tier list, shall we? So, I'm gonna say I think the Four Kings are not great. I don't think they're so bad that I want to put them in bad. I think they have fine enough move sets, but they have really janky hitboxes. They do no damage for some reason. And it's just like a DPS check. So if you do enough damage, you can just face tank everything and kill them all. And if you don't, then suddenly it becomes a problem. I suppose that's maybe why they don't do a lot of damage, is because the idea is that there's going to be more than one of them attacking you at a time. But they're just sort of not really engaging. You know, they don't get like a cool intro cutscene like Nito does, even though I'm putting them higher than Nito. I don't know. Are these guys better than Nito? Yes, because Nito has the fucking skeletons and the forced fall damage and the toxic. I was almost about to put Nito. If it was just Nito by himself, I think he's better than the Four Kings. Nito's whole package deal is worse than the Four Kings. But I don't think they're as engaging as Seath, so I think that they fit right here. Yeah, I'm comfortable with that, I think. Also, yeah, why is that a cutscene? That's a great question. Why is there not, like, an intro cutscene for the Four Kings? Why is there an outro cutscene of the last one, like, dying? It's very strange. Okay, I guess. There's only 3 bosses left. Okay, so what do we say to just going straight to Calamite right now? How does that... What do we think? This back on this. What do we think about just let's go straight to Calamite? Sounds like a plan to me. Might as well get him out of the way. And then we can do Manus last. Save the hardest for last. Although I don't know how hard Calamite is supposed to be. But it is a dragon boss in an early Souls game, so usually those are not great. I mean, even still, sometimes they're not great. Also, I think it's a real shame, speaking as a Monster Hunter player here, I think it's a real shame that they were like, hey, what if we did the like the enemy limping thing, but only did it for the dog that is sad and I don't want to kill. It'd be so cool if, like, I don't know, some of the big dragon bosses started limping or stuff when you were almost killing, or like some of the bosses in Bloodborne. Like, imagine, like, Bloodstarved Beast is almost dead and it just starts, like, limping and, like, tripping over itself and in its own poison and stuff. That'd be kind of cool, I think. Yeah, we shot Calamite. We shot Calamite. That's why the fog wall's here already.
Very good.
Yeah, we shot Calamine already. Now, the best part about this boss is that you get to go down the ladder at the start of it. That's pretty sick. I like that. Alright, so does he, like, start with, like, a drive-by fire attack or something? How does this work? I've never fought this boss. I guess he can't do the big drive-by attack now because he got shot down. Okay, that's pretty good damage for us. That is. Kind of hurts my ears a little bit. I had no, I don't know why I decided to roll back there. I guess I just had faith that for some reason it would, like, not reach me, and then it did. I got rewarded for my very dumb belief. I assume also you can cut off Calamine's tail. Oh there, buddy. Okay, Rathalos. Well, I guess Rathalos doesn't do that kind of attack, but he does go in the air when you don't want him to. I need you to do something so that I'm safe to heal. It's just like playing GU. It's just like playing GU. Ow. That hurt. Just give me a second to heal, my friend. It really is, I mean, it's just like Monster Hunter. He's even a black dragon. He's like Fatalis. I don't know if he's quite as cool as Fatalis, but it's Fatalis. Not that I fought Fatalis, because I'm a fake fan, I guess. I just haven't played a lot of Worlds Ending, or made it far enough in GU to fight Fatalis yet. GU too, as well. Right, give me a second. I want you to do something that is safe for me to heal from. Alright, it was safe enough. I got some health back. Okay, now that's very rapid. Just like a basically no build-up charge attack. Okay, that's fine. Remember, we're not getting out of that. Yep. Just get up as fast as we can, though, before we get chained into another attack. No! Heal right now. That's good. That was the charge. It's interesting that we're almost like poising through the charge attack in a weird way. It's very strange. That might just be dead Calamine. This is a first strike Calamine.
Very good.
Very good. So, I wasn't expecting that to go that well. Is there any more items in the room? There's one more over here. I'm letting my thoughts ruminate for a second before I make a decision on Calamine. I wish we got to fight him longer, is my first thought, so that I can maybe form a more informed opinion. Is there not a bonfire in this boss room? Looks like no. Okay, I'm gonna keep thinking on it. I'm gonna give my full thoughts in a second. Let's make our way back to. Is that a chest over there? Hold on. Is that just a weird visual? Is that a chest? Can I go in there? That's a chest. That's a chest right there. I don't know if that's a bottomless water though. so I can come in after hours. I mean, I think there is a world where if this was my first playthrough of Dark Souls 1, I mean, my first playthrough of Dark Souls 1 was rough around the edges, right? I was on Seed for hours, Nito for hours, Ornstein and Smo for hours. I think that if I had fought Calamite on my blind playthrough of this game, it would have taken me hours, for sure. However, I'm a very different person now than I was when I first played that game. Well, hold on. Let me finish collecting my thoughts. I'm collecting my thoughts right now on Calamite. I will tell you, he's getting a big bonus point for having a ginormous freaking ladder that you have to climb to get out of the arena if you don't want to homer. I love that. Big fan. Amazing. Crazy that one enemy blocking the bonfire to the abyss that had like chains around him has killed me more times today than Sif, Four Kings, and Calamite combined. Say if you wish you could fight him longer, that's a good sign of quality. I was, so a little tease, I guess, I mean, I can sort of start getting my thoughts as I'm rocking back to the bonfire. I was going into that expecting to not like it, because I'm normally not a big fan of dragon bosses in the Souls games. I came out very pleasantly surprised by Calamite. And I wish I could have fought him longer, maybe tried to get the tail cut, or seen if he took extra damage if you hit him in the head, like a lot of dragons do in the more recent games, although not a lot of them you can cut the tails. I don't know why they stopped doing the whole tail cutting thing. I think that's really a cool thing. Okay, we're back to the bonfire. So, let me take us to the tier list, alright? Let me walk you through my thought process. So, I went in with the expectation that I was going to put him in not great or bad. But let's start at average and move him up or down. And by move him up or down, I mean I'm putting Calamite in amazing. I really liked that fight. It felt like a microcosm of like a little Monster Hunter monster. It was very fun. He has telegraphed moves. The only thing I didn't really care for was the move where he flew up into the sky and then breathed down, because it felt like I didn't have the time to run away or roll away to not get hit by it, and it did like a lot of damage. But a lot of his attacks were either strafable or very well telegraphed and easy to roll through. A lot of his attacks give you big windows to hit him. He hits hard, and it's dangerous to heal, but it doesn't feel impossible. And I don't know. I really, really dig that fight. I think that plus like the cutscene with Goff shooting him out of the sky is really cool. His design is kind of cool. He's one of the cooler dragons they've made with like the glowing orange face and everything. His breath attacks have a really cool like color texture to them, with like it's almost like he's breathing humanity at you or breathing darkness at you. Is really cool. I liked it a lot. I thought that was a really fun fight. And really my biggest problem is that we beat him first try. I want to fight him more. I want to get more familiar with when to dodge. Maybe you can dodge in certain ways so that you can hit his head after certain attacks. Yeah, I don't know. I really, really liked it. I really, really liked it. I just wish we got to see more of it. It's already a higher score than probably most of the dragons are going to get in this entire ranking. So, I quite liked Calamite. I was very pleasantly surprised by a wonderful boss. One of the best Dark Souls 1 has had to offer so far. Level up. And we are going to... not the abyss, but the dungeon. guess it's now off to try and find Menace. Which means exploring this next area. And I assume we don't need the Artorias ring for any of this stuff, do we? Like, do we need the Artorias ring to even fight Manus? Since he's in the Abyss, technically? There's a spellcasting one, that's annoying. Looking up this grab attack. I wish I was the other issue is that I was so sort of entranced in okay, you don't need the ring. Okay. I was also sort of so entranced in the fight that I didn't really get to pay attention to his music at all. I don't know if the music was very good or not. I wasn't really paying attention to it. Whereas like Sith, the music with Sith was like sort of immediately noticeable and interesting. But we haven't gotten to the most legendary of Dark Souls 1 soundtracks yet. We still have not heard any Plin Plin Plon. So, gotta save the best for last, I guess. Alright, let's see if I can use that thing for that spellcaster, so let's just go. I'm gonna assume that following the sparkles are good and not leading me to a Patches situation, because usually following sparkles in a dark area means Patches is going to kick you off a ledge. But I'm assuming that Patches has not followed us into the past. I did spare him after all. Is that the Manus boss room right there? White Titanite slab. Okay, so like 6S is like categorically not enough to fight Manus, but we might as well just try it, see what we can learn. I don't really care about losing these souls. I don't really care if the death counter goes up. And if Manus is as hard as people say that he is, then I imagine the death counter is going to go up quite a bit anyway. So we can just go in and try and feel it out. And isn't this like the spot where you can like shoot him with arrows from like right here or something and kill him outside the boss room? Yeah, you can see him right there. So you can just like snipe him. Sit here for like 20 minutes shooting an arrow at him. Alright. We're not going to win, but let's try it. If I don't win. That was the arm that pulled us from the portal, so I guess Manus dragged us into the past? It almost looks like a blood boil. Alright, here we go. Okay, that's pretty fast. Okay, that's pretty fast. Okay, that's pretty fast. Okay, that's pretty fast. That's good to know. That hit me. I thought that I dodged it. Okay, that is so weird, the jump to dodge. Okay, I need to dodge that later. I'm trying to get away from it like I'm playing Monster Hunter. I need to be trying to avoid it when he slams down. Our damage is okay, also. Yeah, more like that. For sure. Cut his tail. Oh, that's like a full-ass combo. Damn. Okay. He does like... He like air juggles you. Your damage is pretty good. What's that? Some sort of spell? That's just my bad. I used up all my stamina. Oh, I'd hate that. I hate that. That's not cool. You're out of healing. Oh, that's the combo. How do you dodge that, I wonder? Okay. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. That could take us a couple tries. Let me warp back to Fire Link. When Calmy did that piercing sound, it was an attack with his grab, which if it connects temporarily doubles the damage you take. Oh man. Okay, yeah, we could definitely beat Manus. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. We want to go to the dungeon. Let me drink some water. Okay. Is there anywhere closer than this bonfire? Or is that just where you have to go? Is this you just have to do this whole ass walk? Because if there's somewhere closer, that would be nice. If there's not somewhere closer, then I can suck it up, but... You know, if there's somewhere closer, I'd like to know. Because this is obviously not ideal. But when is a walk back in Dark Souls 1 ideal? Alright, 2 hand scythe. Let's go. Okay, I don't think he even did that attack last attempt. Stop doing that. I guess maybe I shouldn't be dodging to his left. Maybe I should be dodging to his right. The combo, it's gonna kill me, I think. I need to figure out how to dodge the combo. Because that is a lot of damage that he does every time he does that move. See you in his face. That's the combo again. Stop it, Manus. Maybe it's like a grab. Maybe you you dodge backwards, maybe, but he keeps swinging. That's what he did last. Stop it! Manus! Stop! What is your problem? What is your problem, man? Did you let me heal this? It's probably more. Excuse me? What hit me the first? I was. Huh? He like hit me on his way up that time instead of just on the landing. Okay, I hadn't seen that attack before. Probably shouldn't have done that, but it worked out, so... Okay, that was new. I didn't see that spell before. Okay, that just seems like you run straight there. Gotcha. Okay, seems like you don't want to be far away from Manus. Feels like he does a lot more scary attacks when he's far away. I guess he does the combo when he's close to you, and I don't have to watch that. Oh my god! That did so much damage? He was giving me all the easy attacks on the blind run. It's maybe not a smart use of my stamina, but it's not like I know how to dodge the combo anyway, so I would probably probably have base tanked it in the first place. Now. There we go. Got a little greedy there for some extra damage. I think it's probably worth it. Stop with the side swipe, man. Stop it. Put it out. I don't know how to dodge this attack. I don't know how to dodge this attack. I tried dodging it the other way that time, and he just still hit me. How do you dodge that move? Can you block it? Maybe? I don't know if I've got the endurance to block that move, though. Okay. Felt like we got a little unlucky that run compared to the first run, where he was just kind of doing all the easy to dodge moves over and over again. Yeah, if you get caught by any of it, you're stuck for the rest of it, and it does like half your health. And I have absolutely no clue how to dodge it. Maybe I'm just supposed to spam roll to, like, one of his sides, maybe? I don't know. I don't know if that would work. Seems like his attack with the least clearly defined hitbox. But preferably, we will have a run where he doesn't sit there and do it 3 times in a row. And then we'll be a little more fine. Alright. We go again. Yeah, I can see why you'd be bad at avoiding it. I'm bad at avoiding it too. I don't understand it at all. Have a hitbox there, which is super annoying. So we're too close to him, that still hits you. Good job. Okay. 2 R1s there. What? He just turns like not. Oh, you just did a whole 180. How did you dodge that move? I thought I could maybe just be behind him and I would be fine. That clearly did not work. Try to do sprint for that one. It's okay. We're alive. It's fine. I wanted to do something punishable when I was going to heal, but I was really scared of doing a combo. So I just decided to heal anyway, or run away and heal instead. Probably not worth it there, but I wanted damage, so I'm gonna heal here. Because we're in kill range for the combo, so I want that to happen. So that time he did the combo 1 time and we were fine. I can definitely see how that could be considered the hardest boss in the game. Who is this? Are you okay, miss? I'm guessing this is some lore stuff that I don't know. Just seem to do a roar first. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't necessarily that I had a problem noticing when he was gonna do the combo. It was that I knew it was coming, and then I couldn't dodge it anyway. We've hit the cap on endurance, too. Oh, that's who we rescued to enter the DLC. Okay. Is she alright? Doesn't seem like it. Okay. Bring it back to this. And you know what? I think that he can go right next to Calamite. I liked that boss a lot. I think he, outside of the combo being a little kind of bullshit, I think everything else about that moveset was fun. His slams felt very good to dodge and very good to punish. I like that his spells mix it up a little bit, and each one of them has like a different thing. Like, one of them is scary if you're far away, one of them's scary if you're closer, one of them needs you to run away or run around him. I think that he looks cool. I think the arena is cool, and the arena is like flat, and there's nothing that gets in the way. He doesn't have a bunch of skeletons. He doesn't force you to take fall damage. I like it. I like that boss a lot. I think he's very fun. I think he's a nice challenge. I don't think he's the hardest boss in the game. To me, I think ONS and Artorias are both a little bit harder. ONS just because there's two of them, and Artorias, it's a lot harder to heal against Artorias. Like, I think Artorias' attacks are easier to dodge, but Manus gives you bigger openings to heal. And so I feel like you can kind of face take Manus, whereas in Artorias, you kind of can't. Because if you get hit, and then he decides that he's going to chase you to the ends of the earth, you just have to never get hit again. Whereas Manus, you can be pretty sure, unless you get hit by the combo attack, that after his next attack, you're going to have a safe chance to heal. So I think he's maybe a little bit easier than Artorias. But I would say that Manus and Artorias are around the same difficulty. And I would say ONS are maybe a little bit harder than them. But it depends on the day. Yeah, they did lock in on the DLC bosses. Calamite was great. Manus was great. Artorias is peak. And Sanctuary Guardian is, like, not bad, you know? I mean, I guess that's not what the tiers are. These are amazing, and this is great. But, like, these are all above average bosses for a game that features a lot of below average bosses. All right. I was not expecting this to go so fast. I thought that Manus and Calamite were going to take us a while and not be first and third try respectively. So I guess we're already off to Gwyn, I guess? I was kind of expecting this to be a longer stream. It's already... I was thinking that this was going to be the next to last stream. I thought that we were going to have to take a while to get to Sif, and then Sif and Four Kings would be like 2 hours. And then now we've done Calamite and Manus, and it's only been an hour and a half on the stream. So... I don't know. I mean, maybe we just go to beat Gwyn and we beat Dark Souls 1 today? I don't know. Regardless, I need to go take a quick break to run to the restroom, and then we can try and head our way towards Pling Pling Plong, which I hope you're as excited about Pling Pling Plong as I am. It is a good song, though, despite the joke. So I'm gonna quickly run to the restroom while I'm gone, go grab like a snack or a drink or something, and then we're gonna try and take out Gwyn to finish Dark Souls 1 today, which if I thought I was gonna be finishing Dark Souls 1 today, I would have called the stream something different, and not More Dark, More Souls, but I guess that's that. So I'll be right back, see you in a minute. I'm back. It's me. Okay. Put the headphones back on. Lock in, gamers. Lock in. Lock in, lock in, lock in. Alright, time to die exactly 60 times to, Gwyn, so that we can end the game with 169 deaths. Also, time to learn how to parry, because I don't know how else to beat Gwyn, other than parrying. So we're gonna... Friend? Friend? I don't want to hit him. Wait, friend? You're... Why is he sleeping? Oh, that's a good point. Trophies, let's see. Well, we don't have the trophy for reaching the Dark Lord ending, so I guess we'll do that one. Discover the Covenants, which I haven't done. Why is he asleep? Can we fast travel already to down there? I don't remember. Oh, you can just roll into the pit, it doesn't kill you? Okay, I didn't know that. I thought he had to take you down. Alright, well, if he's gonna sleep on the job, then I'll do it myself. If that had killed me, it would have been so funny, by the way. If you were trolling. That would have been so funny. Also, I forgot after Manus, so...
Very good.
My scythe is just right in the way. Also, I guess if we're gonna be trying to parry Gwyn, we should put on the Leo, or the Hornet Ring. And I know that that's the closest spot. So I think my plan is, let's just... I see no reason for us to fight the knights throughout this area in the Kiln of the First Flame, because they're difficult. So we may as well just go ahead and get practice at sprinting through this area and running from them all. Awesome, that does half my health. That's so cool. Because this, I think, might be the worst walk in the game, because it's long and it's covered in Silver Knights who do a ton of damage if they even tag you. And there's no way to make it quicker. There's no shortcuts, there's no nothing. This appears to be a dead end. I think I've gone the wrong way. Already. There's the Black Knight armor. Which way are we supposed to go then? Oh, this way. We can go this way. Never mind. It is not a dead end. I'm a liar. Bro, why are you still chasing me? Shocker! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth! Alright, Flin Plon time. Hopefully Gwyn will let me heal at the start. Alright, we did not parry successfully. That's a grab. Am I dead? No, okay, I'm not dead. Don't think Gwyn's gonna let me heal, though, if I remember this boss at all. That was a little early. Oh, we're so fucked. Yup. You can't heal against this boss. Well, this is gonna be fun. I mean, maybe I could try fighting him without parrying. We could certainly give it a shot. Ugh. God, I remember this now. How miserable this is. I'm just so bad at Dark Souls parrying. Maybe I should put on a small shield for better parry frames. Do I have the buckler in this game? I think I might have the buckler. I don't know how much we need the stamina regen from the Grass Crest shield. But I mean, we could give fighting Gwyn the quote-unquote normal way a try. But my memory of how this fight goes is that you do like no damage, but if you parry him, and he's relentless, you never get a chance to heal. But if you parry him, he just like crumbles like a wet paper bag. Okay, you see, the issue is that this guy is here, so I need to get him to go around like so. I hope you guys are ready to watch me do this walk a good number of times, because it's going to take a bit, I think. Cool. If you'll excuse me. Thank you. Okay, you know what? Let's give it maybe one try, the quote-unquote normal. Awesome. That was a great roll. Second you try to heal, people do anything because he input reads that shit like a mofo. I mean, the damage is okay, but trying to dodge those attacks and somehow find windows to heal is nigh impossible. Maybe if parrying goes poorly for a couple runs, I'll give it another shot, but I wish I could like this boss. I really do. I guess I'm spoiling my opinions a little bit, but this walk is just so miserable. You tell this game was rushed. It would be so fine if there was a bonfire next to it and you could start to learn the timing of everything. And also, if he wasn't so aggressive on the not letting you heal thing. Use the rocks or pillars to your advantage. And maybe, I don't know. Maybe I have no faith in myself. Beating Manus in the third try, and I'm not even willing to give Gwyn a fair shake. But, like... You know, we've been spoiled by Stakes America. Or even just bosses that have the boss fight in front of the damn bonfire, you know? There's plenty of those in the other games, even without the Stakes of America. This fight is something else, you know? Alright. Back to the walk again. I wish I had more to say. I don't know. Maybe I was a little too quick with the whole Ornstein and Smo as the hardest boss in the game, because I really do think Gwyn is kind of a nightmare. Ooh, I'm stuck on a spike. Sweet. So cool. Yeah, like I would so love to try and learn this fight without parrying, but it just feels like it would take so much time to learn the moves because he does so much damage so fast to you. So let's see if we can't try and parry him. Which would probably be advised to put on a small shield. Did that guy follow his death? He did. He sure did. Surely I've got like a buckler, right? Perfect. Okay. That's one. That's two. That's a shame. Got this. That sucks. That sucks. So it takes about 4 to kill him? It's gonna take about 4. Okay. That feels like so much more doable than fighting him quote-unquote normally. It's actually crazy. Why riposts do that much damage to him, I don't know. Yeah, the run back brings this fight down so hard. Because I think he would be really fun to try and learn if you didn't have to do this chore every single attempt. Like if there was just a bonfire right outside the boss room or something, it'd be great. But unfortunately, there just is not. Got that Black Knight to jump to his death again, though. Right. Buckler on. That sucks. That sucks. That was too early. That was too late. And I couldn't do it because I had no stamina. Great attempt! I love this boss. Okay. Alright. Okay. Because, I mean, it really just, like, the parry strat just sort of comes down to if you ever mess it up once, you're just done, basically. Because you take so much damage from it, and then you lose all your stamina. And then he immediately follows it up with another attack, and then another attack, and then another attack, and then another attack, and you just have no chance. I don't know. I feel like I need something to talk about for these walkbacks. I can't just sit here in silence doing these. This is ridiculous. Come on, man. Okay. I got better with DS parries over the years. I'm just so bad at Dark Souls parrying, and Elden Ring parrying for that matter. Bloodborne parrying, I can do just fine. You know? Sekiro parrying, I can do just fine. Dark Souls parrying, it just feels so... the timing just doesn't make sense to my brain. Alright, here we go again. Lock in, boys. Let's do it. Well, that sucks. And we're just dead, right? That's the grab. Let's just let me heal once. Oh, of course not. Why would you let me heal? It's awful, man. It sucks. It just sucks. It just feels so bad trying to parry him. It feels terrible. And then we have to walk again. At least we didn't have to do Seath's walk multiple times, eh? Huh. I don't know. I need something to talk about, right? Haven't even seen any good clips of the... Actually, you know, I can talk about... once again, let's talk about the One Piece actors at Universal. The clip that you sent me, Cody, I had seen that Twitter did that thing where it like doesn't work and then it reloads everything, and that was the one clip I was trying to see, and it wouldn't load, and then I reloaded Twitter and then it disappeared on me, and then you sent it to me after I couldn't find it anymore, which was very exciting. That clip is so good with like some park goer being like, "Sanji, I love you," and then he turns around and does like the weird little heart hand pose. Is so great. He's just so wonderful. They just couldn't make me hate you, Sanji. I did hate Sanji for a period of time. It wasn't until... I guess probably until Whole Cake Island that I started to like Sanji, which is a hell of a ways into the story, but it recontextualizes everything and makes Sanji great. Spamming heal might help, it's quicker. Does mashing the button make you heal faster? I timed that wrong? Really? There's one. Got one. Okay. Cool. That's two. Uh-oh. That's 3. That's the grab. Fuck. Ugh, that's not good. That's not good. Just get back to full health. I'm facing the wrong direction, so I couldn't parry. No. 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 I'm not looking at him, so the parry missed. Alright, well, we go again, chat. We go again. Unfortunately, there's no One Piece enjoyers in the chat. I would bring up the conversation of what's the strongest like universe that Buggy the Clown solos, which was inspired by, I saw a tweet the other day talking about how I think it's what Kishimoto, the author of Naruto, said that like the Naruto characters would all lose to like a single gun or like a firearm or like a cannon or something. And so like I pressed the X button to roll instead of the circle button. I don't know why. That's not true. I do know why. It's because that's what the roll button is in Monster Hunter. But the idea of like maybe one of, if not the weakest character in One Piece. I don't think Buggy's the weakest. Obviously, he's not like a child. Although I don't know, Buggy the Clown is Buggy the Clown. But the idea of Buggy the Clown like one-shotting an entire like cast of characters that are beloved by like power scalers and stuff with a super buggy ball is so funny to me. I love that silly little clown. But like, I don't know, the idea of like Sasuke Uchiha getting one shot by a buggy ball. That is a good topic. Let's save it for the next walk. That is a good topic, actually. That's a great topic. Damn, that sucks. 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 Alright, well. I hate this a little bit. I really do. Anyways. That's a good topic. Thunderbolts. I have been hearing really good things about Thunderbolts. And by hearing really good things, I mean I saw that it debuted with like the second highest, I forget if it if it was like IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes or something else, but it debuted with the second highest rating that a Marvel movie has ever debuted with. Which for a movie that I was expecting nothing from, considering that their decision for a cast for a Thunderbolts movie was like 3 super soldiers, 2 or 3 spies, and then Ghost, and then obviously Sentry. It was a little underwhelming, but it seems like they're doing like actually good work with the Sentry, which is cool, because I didn't really have faith that they would do anything interesting with Sentry, even though Sentry is a really interesting character that has a lot of room for interesting, cool stuff to do. Oh, you're going the other way. You're trying to mix me up, you Black Knight, you silly Black Knight. And then also, I've been seeing that, like, I don't know if this is true, because I don't know if the movie's even out yet, but, like, a lot of theorying that Taskmaster's gonna die in the first, like, 10 minutes or something. There's apparently, like, one of the characters in the crew, like, dies really, really early to, like, set the stakes. And, like, there's a bunch of scenes of the, in the trailers of the whole group, minus Taskmaster. Including one scene where I think it's, like, Ghost is standing there and has Taskmaster's, like, katana or whatever. What if she wore Taskmaster's katana in her honor and said Peacemaker, that's a bunch of bullshit, and then wore the katana in her honor. What? Excuse me, Gwen? Did not want to roll there. It's okay. It's so fast. Not his ass. I'm planning and plotting so hard right now. Is that dead? Oh, come on. I probably shouldn't heal. I probably should try to get a hit in, but like, we just need one hit. Fuck. Come on, don't do this to me. Thank you. Okay. I was maybe a little greedy. I probably shouldn't have even swung there, but... That's Dark Souls 1, baby! That's Dark Souls 1! You want to see if you're not sure how much knowledge you need from the shows? That's a good question. I don't know how much knowledge you need from the shows either. Because, like, what is the cast? It's Yelena, who shows up very briefly in Hawkeye, but I imagine it wouldn't really change. I mean, I guess the context of, like, her reaction to the snap could be important to the movie. I should be more pogged about Dark Souls. We can continue this conversation about Thunderbolts later. Dark Souls, baby! So to do the ending we want, we just, you're pogging. Let's go. Pog, 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 pog. I was here. Type 5. I was here. I can't type. I can't type. I was here. Let's go. I was here. Dark Souls, baby. One more for the road.
Very good.
Very good. Okay, now we just leave to get the bad ending, and then we can, I can switch us over to the tier list while the credits are rolling. Let's go, Chad. I was here.
Bless thy safe return. Let Calf and Framt serve your highness. We are here to serve your highness.
You when I'm serving my highness?
Let
You know what I'm
the
saying,
true
Chad?
dark be cast upon the world. Our Lord hath
Returnedst. Dark Lord! Dark Souls Remastered! We did it, chat! I was here! Okay, let's take us to the tier list real quick to place our last boss from Dark Souls 1. Gwyn, who I'm thinking I want to put in average. I don't know, it's hard, because I feel like putting him, it feels like not great is too mean, and great is too generous, so I want to put him in average. I think he's got cool lore, he's got a great theme. I don't particularly care for his moveset a lot. I think that it's a cool moveset if he was not so aggressive about hitting you with heals. Like, if he was a little bit slower, I think he'd be fine. And then, so it sort of leads into the fact that you do so much less damage when you're not parrying him, and he's so fairly easy to parry. I mean, I'm shit at Dark Souls parries, and you just saw me do it 4 times in a row. But like, the walk is really bad, but the lore and the music is really good, and his attacks are, like, mostly well telegraphed, except for the one that's way too fast. I don't know, I think I want to leave him an average. 117 deaths, nice Halo reference. So true, it's John Halo. So, overall consensus on Dark Souls 1. Now that we're here at the end of it. I really liked Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 was a lot more fun the second time around. I think having a stronger build was much more fun than whatever shit I had concocted on my blind playthrough. I'm so glad we got to fight Calamite and Manus, because they were both super fun, and I really wish that instead of spending 40 minutes fighting Gwyn and running back to Gwyn, we had spent 40 minutes fighting Calamine and Manus instead, because that would have been more fun. I think those two fights are really great and really, really good. Really fun, really interesting, really well designed. Especially with the constraints of Dark Souls 1. I think it is, obviously it still is rough around the edges, but I think there is a sort of charm to Dark Souls 1 that is not present in the later games, and I get it. I see it now. I think that, when I first played Dark Souls 1, I was, a sort of, ooh, it's so clunky, the older games are so, ooh, I can't enjoy them, ooh, and now I'm a lot more open-minded to that kind of thing. Than at one time I was. And so it's a lot more fun for me now than it once was. Also, I'm gonna move myself back. That's still not far enough. I want to move myself back under the death counter. Like maybe about here. There we go. Hopefully Dark Souls 2 doesn't have the souls in that same spot, so I don't have to move it myself again, but we'll see. But I like this game a lot more the second time around. I think it has a beautiful charm to it. I think it is the closest any Souls game or Souls-like game has gotten to sort of that Metroidvania charm. And I think, like, every bit of it sort of builds into that. With, like, the way you need to go do certain things, like killing Sif to get an item that lets you go into the abyss so then you can fight a boss, I think is really cool. Or things like, you know, I think the fact that you can't warp everywhere also leans into that sort of Metroidvania charm of, like, having these limited places you can fast travel to. Dark Souls Remastered. I just think it's good. I don't know, I really, really liked it the second time around. Big fan. Back to the asylum we go, I guess. I'm a big fan. I really liked it the second time around. I think
dark
that it's...
sign brands the undead.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to put us out to the main menu so we can look at the Dark Souls screen. A lot more fun the second time around. I think that it has a beautiful charm to it. And I am both nervous and excited for Dark Souls 2. So, I guess let's take a quick review of the tier list now that we're done with Dark Souls 1. And where it's look forward to DS2 having to level a stat to have iframes. Boy, ever am I excited about that. So, the tier list is still very bottom heavy, but a lot of that is still Demon Souls' fault. Because if you look at the bosses, we've got more in the higher tiers than the lower tiers. We do have Bed of Chaos, but for every Bed of Chaos, we have an Ornstein and Smo and an Artorias. For every Capra Demon, you have a Calamite, you know? For every 4 Kings, you have a Centipede Demon. For every Moonlight Butterfly, you have a Gaping Dragon. For every Gwendolyn, you have a Chaos Witch Quelaag. For every Demon Fire Sage, you have a Demon Fire Sage. You know? I think that it's a lot more bottom heavy. I have a sneaking suspicion that this cohort down here in Dark Souls 2, 3 whole rows, or sorry, I guess almost 3 whole rows of bosses, there's one too few for the last one, are going to make it maybe a little more bottom heavy, but maybe not. Maybe the bosses in Dark Souls 2 are better than it would seem. I don't know. And then after Dark Souls 2 is done, we get to my favorite, Bloodborne, in which I am considering still doing all of the Chalice dungeons. So there's a little bit less of me being an expert to show off. So there's still a little bit of the fun of me being bad at the video game. Although I suppose I'm hyping up myself and my skill at Dark Soul or at Bloodborne maybe too much. And it's going to be embarrassing when I die 40 times to Orphan of Cause or Lawrence. But I'm excited for the blind Dark Souls 2 playthrough. Part of me wants to mix it up a little bit. I'm considering maybe recording the Dark Souls 2 streams and uploading them and putting a big all caps clickbait title, Souls veteran finally plays Dark Souls 2 for the first time, to get like 10 views, and really bump up the numbers. So, we'll see if I do that or not. I don't think I'm going to start Dark Souls 2 tomorrow, and I'm definitely not going to start Dark Souls 2 today. But Dark Souls 2 should be soon, maybe tomorrow, probably the day after. I want to do a little bit of research on the game and figure out what kind of build I want to do. I'm really not sure. Part of the problem is that, like, when I'm looking up things that are good and, like, things that are interesting in Dark Souls 2, it tells me where it is, and I have no clue what that means because I've not played the game. So I don't know what any of the areas are, how far in they are. I am considering, one of the things I'm considering is using the boss weapon, one of the boss weapons from Flexile Sentry, who appears to be a fairly early game boss. Because apparently it has a unique move set and is pretty fun. And I tend to like faster weapons and stuff, and apparently you can power stance it with, like, rapiers that are really strong in Dark Souls 2. So maybe we do, like, a dexterity build with, like, the Flexile Sentry weapon and an offhand rapier, or an offhand thrusting sword. And we can either power stance or use one or the other at a given time. But I've learned a couple things I know already about Dark Souls 2. I know that generally adaptability is important to level first or really early to get like 92 to like 100 something agility for like decent iframes. I've learned that most weapons have really shitty scaling, like even like high scaling like A or B or even S. Even those scalings are not very good when compared to how good scalings are in, say, Demon Souls or Dark Souls or Bloodborne or Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring. And so generally you want to sort of meet requirements for your weapon, and then leveling stuff like health and stamina and adaptability is way more important in Dark Souls 2 than in other games, because your scaling is a lot worse and your weapon upgrades are a lot stronger. And so prioritizing leveling, not your requirements, is good. But I'm not entirely sure. But I think at the moment I'm leaning the weapon from Flexile Sentry, plus maybe like a thrusting sword, because apparently thrusting swords are broken in that game. I learned you have to press X for illusionary walls. Adaptability is a thing. One of the starting classes starts with a broken straight sword. I know the weapon buffs, like spell buffs, are really strong in that game, similar to Elden Ring. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I might. I've heard that hammers are really good, and you can get some good ones early. Like, they're really good for bosses. So maybe what I do is I have, like, a weapon for exploring areas that's maybe like a greatsword or something that has a little more reach and a little more sweeping, and then use a hammer for single target boss fights, maybe? I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm figuring it out. If you have any suggestions, let me know, and I'll consider them. I guess I should be talking over the tier list and not the upcoming bosses. But I think this is where we stand. Are there any bosses we want to move? That's a good question. Do we want to move any bosses? I almost want to move Old Hero down. Sorry about that. I almost want to move Old Hero down, but I think it's fine. I'm content with where it is right now. But I don't know. Comparing Old Hero and Alliance to Calamite and Manus feels a little egregious. Like maybe these two should be down. Maybe move. I almost want to swap these two for these two, but I'm getting the feeling that maybe these two are a little overrated on this list just because of how bad Demon Souls was, and maybe these two should move down to great. And then let Calamite and Manus be our sort of defining bar for amazing. But for now, I'm going to leave it as is. We might change it later. Next stream, we will be picking up with Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, unfortunately. Blind, with a brand new death counter set at 0. And going through it, figuring out how it works. Excited. I will see you there, and we might record it and try uploading it to YouTube to try and get some traction, because YouTube does not push streams. Not that we have not had random people come in. We've had 2. There was one during the Xenoblade X stream who was kind of a bum that was just there to plug his own content and then left, which was kind of a cringe and annoying. And then we had another person that popped in during the Painted World in Dark Souls 1 that was here for a little bit, and I talked with them. But outside of that, it's just been, the normal cohort. So part of me wants to push, maybe make the Blind Dark Souls 2 the push to uploading other things. But we'll see. In the grand scheme of things, I don't care too much about the viewership. That's not what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this for my own enjoyment. So, anyways, enough of me rambling. You don't need to hear that. Thanks for hanging out. It's been a wonderful stream, a very productive stream. I was expecting this end of Dark Souls 1 to be 2 streams and not one stream that was less than 2.5 hours. So, with that all said, I think I'm done here today. I need to go install Dark Souls 2 and probably play some more Monster Hunter. Thanks for hanging out. Be good to yourselves. Stay hydrated. Eat some good food. My second DSD playthrough, 40 adaptability, but 30 to 35 is good too. I don't know how much you need. I know it affects your agility stat, and I know about how much agility is apparently good. But I don't know how much adaptability that is, so we'll find out. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. Be good to yourselves. Stay hydrated. Eat good food. Do thumbs up. Do good stuff. And don't you dare go hollow.